Hello everyone. I just thought I'd do another video if anyone's interested. And last time I know the dogs came in and out, and so they're going to probably come in and out again this time. So just ignore them. So today, if you like, if you can, have a couple of props with you. I've got a block here, and you could use something like a book or yeah, something kind of like a little bit of a brick. And the other thing that would be really nice and helpful is if you've got, I've got a bolster, but if you've got something like a pillow or some cushions, then you can use that as well for your chair yoga session today. So just get yourself nice and comfortable on your chair and sit back and let the back of the chair support you. Let the shoulders relax. Just take a moment now, close the eyes. Let the whole of the body relax. And as you relax, just taking 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you exhale from the mouth, as you breathe out of the mouth, just letting go of any tension that you might be holding in your shoulders. Just letting your body be heavy, letting gravity pull any heaviness down towards the ground. And also as you exhale, just kind of allowing any release that you need to let go of in your mind. So there's just 3 really nice deep breaths in and out, maybe a couple more if you haven't taken them yet. And then just taking a moment just to allow yourself to settle. So just let the eyes close, hands on your legs or in your lap. And just start to take your full awareness now to how your physical body is today. So you might be drawn to some sensations in the body. They might be sensations of feeling particularly good. You might feel open and strong. Those sensations might feel a little bit more closed, maybe a little bit more stiff. You might be drawn to a particular area of your body. So just take a few moments now with the eyes closed, just to really start to connect with where your body is today. And then from here, just kind of almost deciding what body you've brought to your practice today. So is your body tired? Is it feeling like it needs a stretch? Do you feel quite awake, quite alert? Just being aware of your version of your physical self that you've brought to the mat today. And when you've kind of made that decision about which version of yourself you've brought to the mat today, I just want you to start to visualize which version of yourself you're going to take away from the mat today. So are you looking for a stronger, more stretched version of you? Are you looking for someone who's feeling a little bit less tired? Just being aware of the physical body you'd like to take away from the mat today, take away from your practice. I don't mean taking the physical body away of a supermodel or an athlete. We don't need that. We all want that, but we don't need it. Just be aware of the good version of yourself that you can take away. And just start to visualize how that feels and what that version of yourself looks like. And then when you visualize that version of yourself that you want to take away from the mat today, we're going to slowly start to just take a few deeper breaths in and out. So I just want you to give your face a little bit of a wiggle, give the jaw a wiggle, let the face be soft. And again, just think about taking a few nice deep breaths into your body. And as you do, think about expanding through your rib cage. So when you expand through the rib cage, the lungs will expand as well. Don't breathe to 100% of your inhalation, take it to about 70%. And what's important is we want to exhale as much as we can. So almost just allow yourself to completely exhale as much as you can. And that will help to encourage the inhalation. So just a few deep breaths in and out, concentrating on filling up the lungs. So think about expanding through the rib cage, the side ribs, the back of the ribs, up into your collarbones. And when you've taken a few of those breaths, then we're just going to start to bring the awareness now back to the body. And then if we can, if you're comfortable with your body against the back of the chair, keep it back of the chair, keep it at the back of the chair. If not, just shuffling yourself forward. So you're kind of sitting up, you're using your core to sit up nice and straight. And we're just going to work into the feet a little bit now. So I want you to just push the feet into the floor if you can. Give them a good push. Think about lifting through your spine. And with the eyes closed to start with, I want us to come onto tiptoes. So you're sitting on your bottom, but you're bringing the heels off the floor, so you're onto your tiptoe. And then you're releasing those tiptoes to the floor. And then you're just sending the toes up towards the ceiling. So you're on your heels now, so you're flexing your feet. And then bring those feet down to the floor, give them a little push into the floor, and then lift all 10 toes, spread them wide. And again, just pushing them down onto the floor. So from here, just starting to kind of lift your spine now. Your chin should be parallel with the floor, and we're kind of lifting through the spine. And with the eyes still closed now, if it's uncomfortable with the eyes closed, do open them up. So what I can just do is give you suggestions, but if it's not right for you, you can change it slightly. And we're just going to draw some little circles with the nose. So starting small and then just letting those circles get bigger. So you're drawing like a spiral. And then when those circles have got as big as feels comfortable, without kind of losing control of the head, so you're not lulling it, you're kind of in control of it, you're starting to take the circles smaller again. Until you eventually come to stillness. And then we're going to just take those circles in the opposite direction. So start small, getting bigger, until the circles are as big as feels comfortable. And then just take those circles smaller and smaller again. Until eventually you come to find stillness. So just before we move any further into the practice, again, give the jaw a little bit of a wiggle, release any tension in the face. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So we're going to work with our breath. And I want us to think about, as we breathe in, kind of the breath lifting us up. So we're not kind of expanding outwards, we're trying to expand upwards. And as we exhale, we feel the breath kind of releasing down to about this sort of diaphragm area. So rather than in and out, let's think about up on the inhalation and down on the exhalation. So let's take the hands down next to us. And we're going to take a deep breath in now as we take the arms all the way overhead for a nice big stretch. Taking the palms together, just holding them here for a moment, have that chin parallel with the floor. Taking a deep breath in again when you're ready. And as you exhale, just bringing those hands to your heart center. So we're just going to bring the chin towards the chest now,
kind of opening up the back of the neck, the nose towards the hand. And on an inhalation, we're bringing the head back to a center position, chin parallel with the floor. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. So this time I'm going to inhale the arms all the way overhead, really stretch into the fingers and the hands as well. Bring the arms overhead, and they're about shoulder distance apart. And we kind of want to reach up as much as we can. We're not kind of bending backwards, we're reaching up to really open up the side ribs. I'm going to release our shoulders a little bit now. So we're going to bend the elbows and have the elbows come to shoulder height. So we're really opening up through the front of the chest. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale, let's take the elbows all the way together. So we're kind of seeing if we can just take those elbows behind us. They won't touch each other. Well, they might if you're super sort of unbelievably flexible there, but just taking them towards your side. Deep breath in, and then you can release the hands again. We'll do that one another time. So inhale, arms up, a little bit quicker. Reach into those fingertips, and then exhale, elbows to shoulder height. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, taking the elbows all the way together. Releasing your hands. Let's work into those arms a bit more. So we're taking a big circle, moving the arms forward this time. And we're moving right from those collarbones. So we're inhaling the arms up, taking a circle behind us if we can, seeing if we can interlace those hands behind our back. And when we interlace the hands behind our back, another little bit of a challenge here, can we do a bit of a pointy finger? So we cross the thumbs. I don't know if you can see that. And we've got a pointy finger. So just pulling your hands away from your bottom, shoulder blades together, chins parallel with the floor. Plant those feet into the floor, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're folding forward, keep the chin tucked in. So you don't have to fold forward too much, just fold forward to what feels comfortable. It might just be half an inch. Holding it here. And then on a deep breath in, we're coming all the way back up again. Release the hands for one big stretch, final big stretch. Take an inhalation, palms coming all the way up together, and then taking them down to the heart center. So with the hands at the heart center, we're just going to take the right ear over to the right shoulder, just for a bit of a stretch, not too much. Feel as though you're lifting up as well as over to the right. And then back to center. And then over to the other side. And then back to center. And one more time to bring the chin to the chest, so we're opening up the back of the neck. Deep breath in here, lifting up through the spine. Exhale. And then inhale, bringing that arc, the head back to center. Interlace your hands now, and we're just going to send the butt hands forward. So just push into those hands. Chin to chest again. And as we're here, we're starting to round the back. So I'm starting to push my back towards the back of my chair and bring my belly button in towards my spine. On a deep breath in, take those arms all the way overhead again as you bring your head up and take the arms wide. Finally, let's take some big shoulder rolls. So right from those collarbones, taking 3 big rolls backwards. And taking 3 big rolls forwards. And then coming back to stillness. Let's just move into the hands for a moment. Just taking claws with our hands. Taking fists. Palms are flat and fingers towards the ceiling. Fingers towards the floor. Take some fists again and just take a couple of circles in one direction. And then the other direction. And then giving those hands a little bit of a shake. And then just release your hands. And we'll just move on to the legs before we come to standing. So let's take the right leg first of all. Sitting up nice and straight. Remember, you can move onto the back of the chair. Let's say move the bottom backwards, or you can be sat a little bit further forward, which is working into your core a little bit more. Right leg, let's lift it up. Couple of rotations of that ankle. One direction. And then in the other direction. My ankle is clicking a lot today. Let's straighten the leg out if we can. So we're pointing the toe, straightening the leg out, flexing the foot up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, just bend that knee and release the foot. And let's take that to the other side. So other leg. Ankle rotations to start with, nice big circles. Don't worry about those clicks, as long as there's no discomfort. And then just taking those circles in the opposite direction. Oh, Chips brought me my slippers. And then coming to stillness, we're going to take the leg in front of you, point the toe. And flex the foot. Really push into that heel, feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Bend the knee down onto the floor. So just before we come up, let's just make sure those hips are nicely warmed up. Going to take the legs wide, hands on the knees, we're moving from the hips. So circles with the head, so as if we're drawing circles on the ceiling, but we're moving into the hips. You can start to move into the shoulders as well. And then when you've taken a few in one direction, just come to the front and just start to take those circles back in the other direction, moving in as much as your body as you want to. And then move all the way back to the front. And bring yourself back up to a nice comfortable seat, bring the legs together. And we're going to come and stand up now. So when you're ready, coming to stand up, I'm going to move the chair out of the way. We're going to take a little bit of a stretch. So you might want to have that block that I was on about nearby. But let's take a bit of a stretch first. So what we want to do right now is we want to take those legs nice and wide. And we want them to be a bit further distance than hip distance apart. And then we want the heels to be out and the toes to be in. And this can kind of release into our lower back a little bit. So when you do that, as long as it feels okay in your hips and your knees, if it doesn't feel okay, then, you know, just let the feet come to wherever they want to. But if we take the heels out slightly, this does kind of loosen up the lower back a bit more. Again, if that's not comfortable in either ankles, knees, or hips, just take the feet to where they need to be. Kind of relax everything. And then again, you're going to take another big stretch. So we're going to inhale the arms all the way overhead. And I'm just going to take my left wrist with my right hand. And I'm going to reach up and we're going to take a stretch over towards the right side. And then I'm going to send my hips to the left side. See how that feels. A couple of breaths here. And then I'm going to start to bring my chin to my chest and round my back. So I'm kind of stretching into my left shoulder blade. So you're rounding through your back. And then just bring yourself back so you're in that kind of side bend again. Send the hips to the left and inhale all the way up, releasing your hands. So as we take those stretches, we want to feel lift. We don't just want to kind of go right into a stretch, just do what feels nice. So inhale again, arms all the way overhead, holding on to the right wrist with the left hand. We're going to kind of reach up and then bend over to the left side. Send the hips to the right side. Feeling a bit of a stretch and then bringing chin to chest and just rounding through the back so you can feel the right shoulder blade opening up now. So you're kind of almost rounding towards the floor. And then coming back to that side change and then coming all the way up and releasing hands. So we're going to take the legs a little bit wider now. So taking the legs wider, feet come at 10 to 2. We're going to look for our goddess and we're going to move a little bit in goddess with the breath again. So hands next to you, pushing into the feet. Inhale, arms coming overhead. Palms come together and then as we exhale, take a bend into your goddess. Just a little bend. First one. Lovely, straighten the legs, release the hands. Inhaling again, reaching up into goddess. Exhale, maybe take a little bit more of a bend, shoulders relax. Keep those knees bent this time. As we inhale the arms overhead, we start to straighten the legs. If we can, then we exhale again into goddess. Let's inhale the arms all the way overhead again. Start to straighten the legs. Reach into those fingertips, palms together. Taking yourself down into your goddess. Now on the next one, we're going to hold goddess for 5. So let's inhale, take a big stretch overhead. Palms come together and then starting to sink down into your goddess. Holding it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Straighten your legs. Lovely. Take the hands onto the hips now. We're going to look at our warrior 2. So if you're on a mat like me, taking your right toes so they're along the long end of the mat and left toes towards the back of the mat. So we've kind of all done this one before. The hips are kind of open to the side on this one. So we're going to take a big stretch first of all. Take the backs of the hands together, arms all the way overhead, stretch into the fingertips, and then hands come to shoulder height, bending that front knee. Holding it here. Look over the front fingertips if that feels okay. And we're breathing, let the shoulders relax. Be aware of where the breath is, and then bring the hands to the heart center. And we're taking a little lean forwards towards that bent leg here. So just pushing the hands together, just leaning forwards towards the bent leg. Just a little bit. Keep pushing into that back foot so the back leg's nice and strong. And then coming back to center. Arms wide, take them overhead, and we're just going to start to stretch towards that back leg. So just reaching up, just taking a little stretch towards the back leg. Lovely. Coming back to center and releasing your hands to your sides. Take them onto the hips. And let's take both feet in front of you. Now, just going to bring my chair back to where it was before. I just removed it because it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. We're going to take a little fold over that chair. So with those legs wide, have a look at the feet. They should be facing towards the long end of your mat. I'll just do it from this angle. And you're just going to bend your knees a bit, take your bottom backwards. Keep your head so the neck is parallel with the rest of the spine. I'm going to stand on the dog, but we want to kind of stretch into the shoulders as well. So we'll hold it here, kind of send your bottom towards the back of the room. For 1, keep breathing, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. So starting to kind of walk forward. Take a moment with the chair if you're a bit lightheaded after that. So just holding onto the chair for a moment. And then we come to take that warrior sequence on the other side. So take the legs wide again. And this time the right toes towards kind of like the front end of the mat. Left toes kind of along the long edge or a little bit up towards the front. So we're just kind of trying to open the hips without anything feeling discomfort. Arms out to your sides, up to shoulder height, and we'll take the stretch first of all. So arms coming overhead, hands together, and then bending your knee. You're in your warrior 2, warrior 2. Look over the front fingertips and breathe. Let your shoulders relax, let your face be soft. Hands come to heart center, push into that back foot, and we're taking a little bit of a lean forwards. Push into the back foot so it's nice and strong. Inhale, coming back to center, arms out wide at shoulder height, palms up this time, and taking the arms above your head, just pushing into that back foot, reaching up, taking a bit of a stretch backwards. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. Taking the arms back to shoulder height. Straightening that front leg. Take the hands on the hips and taking both feet towards kind of front of your mat area. So we're going to do a couple of chair poses now. We've done them before. Now, if it's too much for you with this block, I'm just strengthening things up a little bit as well for some of you. If it's too much for you with the block, leave the block out. But if you can, this is really good for it's good for your lower back. It's also good for the pelvic floor muscles. So we want something that's about hip distance. So some of you will have something a bit skinnier. It can be a book, it can even be a rolled up towel or blanket. We're bringing it quite close up to the groins area. And we're just having both feet hip distance apart, and give that block a little bit of a squeeze. So to start with, this might be enough for some of you, just holding it here, and you're giving it a squeeze, not to 100%, but maybe to about 60, 70% of your strength. And this really does help the lower back if you've got kind of a bit of stiffness in the lower back or a little bit of a weakness in the lower back. And also it can help to lift those pelvic floor muscles as well. So those of you who want to take it a bit deeper, you can take a deep breath, take the arms overhead. Take a nice stretch, so you're stretching into the side of your body. Just squeezing onto that brick, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're just going to bend the knees a little bit. The weight comes into the heels, really little chair pose. Inhale, we're coming up again, we're reaching up. And then exhale, we'll take it down a little bit lower if that feels okay. Last one, inhale, coming all the way up, reach up, lift up. And then on this one, we're going to hold it for 5. So we're coming all the way down. Weight comes into the heels, reach up. If it's too much on the shoulders, bring the shoulders, hands to heart center. Breathing here, squeezing that block for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. Take a deep breath in. Reach up, lift up. Connect the feet with the floor. Give that block a squeeze. And then bringing the hands down next to you. So we're just going to take a hold of the chair now, and with that block still here, if it's too much, remove the block. Just going to take some lifts to strengthen the calves. So we're squeezing that block to 60 or 70%, and we inhale, coming up onto the tiptoe. Exhale, release. 4 more. Inhale and exhale. 3 and exhale. 2 and exhale, and 1. Up as high as feels comfortable, and then release. So then we're going to just take that to the other side. So I'm just going to move the chair. You do what you need to do to come to the other side. And we're going to do that again. So hand on the hip, inhaling up for 1. This is 5 in total, remember. 2. Working the feet as well, it's a bit of a balanced posture. 3, 4, inhale up, exhale down, and 5, inhaling up, and exhale, release. And I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel the muscles working around my thighs. So removing your block now, and you can place it on the floor. And we're going to come back down onto the chair. So coming back down onto your chair when you're ready. And the blanket, the pillow or the cushions, just having that close by as well. So first of all, we're going to take the pillows and we're going to put them underneath your feet. We're going to take a little fold forward here. So sitting up nice and straight, I want us to kind of think about rounding the spine and curving the spine. So you might take the feet so they're about hip distance apart, just tucking the chin in and just starting to round down the spine. And so you might come here and this might be enough, or you might be able to round a little bit more and kind of let everything release. Let the head release, let the shoulders release, give them a wiggle. Just take a couple of breaths and send your breath to the back of your body here. And then starting from your lower vertebrae, we're just rolling all the way up the spine again. Rounding through the back, give the shoulders another little bit of a roll. And we're going to take that little bend to a different level now, different degrees. So we're taking, and don't kind of bend down like I did. Take your time about getting your pillow or your props. So we're going to take it onto our lap, depending on however feels comfortable, and we're going to roll over that again. So it's a little bit more height, a little bit more support. So just sitting up nice and straight, and then thinking about starting to round the back again. So moving down, moving into the hips, rounding the back, letting everything release. And again, just taking some deep breaths in and out here as you kind of let everything completely go. And then from here, starting with the lower back, we're rounding up the spine again, all the way up. And you can release that pillow, give your shoulders a roll. Have a nice one more big stretch overhead, move into the fingers. And then just allowing the back of the body to release onto your chair. Hands can come onto the lap or onto the knee. And then I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, close the eyes. And just start to be aware of any sensations that you might be feeling in your body right now. Be aware of where you might have created space. Be aware of any sensations on the skin or in the muscles. Listen to whatever your body is telling you. And we're just going to take a few nice deep breaths in and out again now. So as you're sat with your back against the back of the chair, I want you to think about your breath. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about, as we inhale, we're going to think about inflating the back of your body to start with. So we're not breathing into the front of the chest. Think about opening up through the back of your body. And then the breath is coming through the side ribs and into the front of the body. And as you exhale, the breath releases from the front of the body, back past the side ribs and into the back of the body. So act as though the back of your body is the front of your body. You want to send the breath there. Inhaling into the back, the side ribs, and finally the front. So inhaling wherever there is ribs. Exhale, releasing from the front, the side, into the back of the body. So as you inhale, think about inflating the back of the body, and we hold a little bit more lung capacity there. So we want to kind of train it to breathe as much as we can into the back of the body. Just concentrating on filling the back of the body with fresh air, moving through into the side and then finally the front. Just a few more rounds of breath, concentrating on taking the breath from the back of the body. And this is something you can do as a breathing exercise when you're laying in bed, first thing in the morning, just starting to connect with the breath, breathing into the back of the body, the side, all the way to the front. And then from the front and the side, let it settle in the back. Just taking your last couple of breaths where you focus on the back of the body, and then just letting your body just return to its natural rhythm of breath. And as you do, I want you to visualize that physical body that you visualized at the start of the session, the one that you want to be leaving your practice, the one that is strong and stretched and full of space and breath and lightness. Visualize how that body feels. And visualize that body leaving the mat. So visualize you leaving your mat with that strong and stretched and spacious body. And then when you've kind of visualized that body, the body that's about to leave the mat, the version of you that is strong and stretched, then just take a few moments just to concentrate on, as you inhale, bringing that fresh and vibrant and sunny energy into your body. A few nice deep breaths in, maybe starting to move into the fingers and the toes as you inhale. And then with the eyes still closed, let's take a big stretch overhead if we can. Taking the arms all the way overhead, reach into the fingertips, open the shoulder blades, bring the hands together into the heart center. Have a little feel of the energy between the palms. And let's just rub the palms together. Feel that lovely warm energy and just place those palms wherever they need to be. So it can be your lower back or somewhere physical, somewhere mental. Might be that you need a little bit more wakening up today. And then you can release your hands, have a stretch, and finish your practice however you wish. And take that nice strong body away from your mat today. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully I will see you all soon. Take care. And yeah, if you've got any requests, let Sam know and she can tell me if there's an area you want to work on. Okay, hopefully see you soon. Bye.